Twinshots have been slept on for quite some time now, and in this video I'll cover everything from the build, items and augments, how to play, as well as positioning. This is a slow roll comp that wins by getting Gangplank 3-star, and we also go for 3-star Morgana, Lucian, and Senna as well. Since we are 3-starring 3-cost units, we will be slow rolling at level 7 with this board. Here GP is our main carry, Gnar, Senna, and Seraphine are in as support units and also to give us 3 Socialite, Corki and Lucian are in there to be Twinshot units and also to act as secondary carries. Morgana is an enchanter and also our main tank in this comp. There aren't any adjustments you can make here unless you get +1 of an augment, but we'll talk more about that later. Once you hit GP 3-star with this board, you will level up and add in Jinx for 4 Twinshots, and you will still keep trying to hit Morgana 3-star at level 8. Here you can also drop Corki for another unit if needed. GP is our main carry, so we prioritize making items for him first. He has 2 core items. The first one is BT. Since he deals exclusively AD and is also a melee carry, we need BT for him to heal up from the splash damage he will be taking from other frontline units. Hodge can work as a replacement, but it's too inconsistent to be a reliable replacement. The second core item is Last Whisper. Since he is exclusively AD, we need to shred armor of the units we're attacking. Without this, he can also get stuck on tanks, and since GP has no backline access, we instantly lose the fight if he gets stuck. The third item for GP will depend on the lobby, but some good options are IE, Deathblade, QSS, Titans, and Hurricane. IE makes sure that his spell always crits, Deathblade adds a ton of AD and scales well with our spell, QSS makes sure we don't get CC'd and also gives us more attack speed. Hurricane is nice since it scales with our spell, and it also gives us more attack speed and AD. After we have itemized GP, we want to itemize Morgana. Since she is our main tank, and will also be solo frontlining, we need 3 good tank items on her. You make whichever tank items you can put on her out of the non-GP components, but the best ones are Stoneplate, Warmogs, Redemption, Bramble, and Declaw. If you still have a lot more items left over, you want to itemize Jinx or Lucian, or you can make support items for Senna or Seraphine. If you get a spatula, there is literally nothing useful we can make out of it. You just have to pray you get another spatula to make it into a tactician's crown. The best augments to take for this comp are Ancient Archives to get an enchanter or socialite emblem, Duet, any electro charge, enchanter heart emblem or soul, any exiles, first aid kit, makeshift armor, meditation, socialite heart emblem or soul, twinshot heart emblem or soul, triforce, portable forge, sharpshooter, Three's Company, Trade Sector, March of Progress, Verdant Veil, or Share the Spotlight. I mentioned a lot of augments there, and the S tier ones are Duet, Enchanter Heart, First Aid Kit, Socialite Heart, Twinshot Heart, Triforce, and Sharpshooter is beyond broken in this comp. The carousel priority for this comp is Glove, Bow, Sword, then Belt. Since this comp revolves mostly around 3-cost units, we can find them already on stage 2. More importantly, if we know we're playing this comp, we always pre-level to 4 on one floor. This is so we have a chance to hit 3-cost units, and already letting us find pieces of the comp on stage 2. If you didn't hit an early Twinshot to run as your carry, some other good openers are Ezreal with Scrap, Ashe with Syndicates, 3 Mercenaries, or Yordles with Ziggs or Corki carry. Once we have our opener, we need to make items, but since both BT and Last Whisper are core items, we do not want to make any items that use up those first 2, meaning we don't slam any items that use Glove, Bow, Cloak, or Sword. Other items we can make though are Bramble, Warmogs, Redemption, or Sunfire. For the rest of the early game, you can play aggressive or passive, just like how you would play the early game for any other traditional leveling comp, and if you want to learn more about how to play the early game, check out my guide where I go in depth on that subject. After the Crux round, you should have more direction towards a comp, and the general requirements to play Twinshot GP is to have at least 1 bow for Last Whisper and another component for BT. You prefer to have some of the units for the comp already at this point, but since most of them are 3 costs, it's not that big of a deal to not have them. During the mid game, you play it the same way you would play any other traditional leveling comp. The goal is to be level 7 with 50 gold or more after Wolves. This means we can play aggressive or passive, roll at level 6 on 3-2 or not. If you want to learn more about how to play the mid game, check out my guide where I go in depth on that subject as well. On stage 4-1, you want to be level 7 with at least 50 gold or more, and you want to have hit this level 7 board with GP 2-star in order to be stable. From here, you will either slow roll at level 7, or if you're high rolling, you can go to level 8 and slow roll there instead, as the odds for 3 costs remain at 35% at level 8. Your 3-star priority when slow rolling is GP, Morgana, Lucian, then Senna. But the most important ones to hit are GP and Morgana. Since GP is our main carry, he has to be 3-starred for this comp to work, and since Morgana is our only tank, this comp benefits greatly from having her 3-star. Lucian and Senna are just icing on the cake you can go for since you are already slow rolling at level 7 and 8 and have a high chance of hitting them. Once you hit GP 3-star, you need to evaluate how close you are to Morgana 3-star. If you're close, meaning you have 7 or more, you can keep slow rolling at level 7 to 3-star her as well. If you're far off, just hold onto the Morganas on the bench and hope to hit her 3-star on a future roll down later. Once you hit GP 3-star and decide to stop slow rolling, you want to go to level 8 or 9 depending on how much gold and HP you have. Most of the time you will just get to level 8. Here you will add in Jinx to give GP even more damage through another Twinshot. You can also replace Corki with Lulu or Orianna for 3 enchanters if you have hit Morgana 3-star and need more frontline. When rolling down at level 8, you want to keep trying to hit the 3-stars you didn't hit when slow rolling at level 7. Since the odds are still 35%, it's fairly likely to hit while rolling down your gold. If you get to level 9, you will add in another enchanter, or you can replace Gnar with Galio for more CC and frontline. There isn't too much else you can do with this comp. If you get +1 Socialite, you will drop Gnar for another enchanter. It's never worth it to go for 5 Socialite with this comp unless you don't have BT. If you get +1 Twinshot, you can consider dropping Corki for another enchanter, but overall just getting more damage into GP also works great. If you get contested, what you do depends a little on how you get contested. You can get contested by somebody else trying to play the same comp, or you can get partially contested by people playing your units and other comps. If you get partially contested, it will often be by people playing Syndicate Ahri or Ashe, and they are trying to 3-star Morgana. People can also be playing Enchanter Senna when they're also trying to 3-star Morgana and Senna. In this case, the comp is weaker as your frontline is a lot worse, but you are still able to hit GP 3-star most of the time. In that case, you will still try to get Morgana 3-star, as you will likely hit once they get knocked out. But you only care about GP 3-star in this case as you will likely hit way before Morgana. If you get contested by another reroll Twinshot player, it will be close to impossible to hit 3-stars. Since there are only 18 copies of each 3 cost, it's enough for 2 people to 3-star their carry, but it will be incredibly hard once you go down to just a couple left in the pool. The best options from there is to pivot to Irelia, but pivoting to Jhin and Draven also works. The other option is to contest, but know that you will most likely go 7th or 8th if you do this. To do this, you need to be farther ahead than your contester, and you also need to consistently be checking how close the other player is to hitting GP and Morgana 3-star. If he is starting to get close, you have to roll down in order to hit before him. General positioning with this comp looks like this. We have Morgana closer to the middle so she will hit multiple targets with her spell, and to make the enemy team wrap around her. Gnar is next to her to act as frontline. GP wants to be put wherever the Socialite Hex is. Seraphine is cornered to hit as many targets as possible with her spell. Senna is next to her to also hit many targets. Corki is acting as protection for Jinx to make sure she's able to ult. Now moving on to some in-depth positioning examples. In all these examples, we will assume that GP is standing in the Socialite Hex. Against the first guy, the big threat is Irelia. GP is positioned to attack Gnar and also to be farther away from Irelia. Morgana is positioned to stun the entire enemy frontline. Gnar is positioned to get tossed by Singed to let Morgana stay in the frontline. Lucian and Corki are positioned to focus Singed then Irelia to help take her down. Jinx is safe to make sure she ults. Senna and Seraphine are positioned to hit our frontline with their spells. Against the second guy, the big threat is Malzahar. GP is positioned to not get eaten by Cho'Gath and also to be farther away from the Malzahar. Morgana is in the middle to hit the entire enemy frontline. Gnar is positioned to tank Malzahar's spell. Our backline is clumped to save Seraphine from Cossacks and also to heal up our frontline. Against the third guy, the big threat is Jhin. Morgana is positioned to ult the entire enemy frontline. Gnar is positioned to tank the damage from Jhin. Lucian and Corki are helping to burst down Vi. Senna and Seraphine are healing up our frontline once again. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what video you want me to make next, and if you want to get better at TFT, join the Discord. We got over 7,000 other players there who are hungry to climb. And if you want to get coached by me, the information is over on the Discord server as well. So take care and see you in the next video.